Late President Umaru Yar'Adua initiated the Amnesty program to calm the restiveness in the Niger Delta. 9 years on, the program has weathered through various storms. It held much promise and it delivered some results. Like a vessel in the sea, it has been swayed by the waves, but it remains afloat. So, what is the state of the Amnesty program? What has become of its components? What is the ripple effect on the creeks? These and more will be in focus on Nigeria Today. I'm Wilfred Ewalifo. Joining us to discuss the Amnesty program is Brigadier General Paul Burrow, the SATD President on Niger Delta and Coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty program. Welcome to you, Niger Today, Brigadier Burrow.
Yes, thank you very much.
And also joining us is the National Coordinator of the Pan-Niger Delta People's Congress, PNDC, Chief Mike Loibo. Chief Mike Loibo, welcome to Nigeria Today.
The pleasure is always mine.
Yes, well, we'd also like to welcome Dr. Chris Ekio, who is joining us via Skype from Benin. Dr. Ekio is the former president of Ijaw Youth Council and an advocate for peace. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Ekio. Okay, Dr. Ekio, I hope that your audio will be quite good on this program today. But let's start off really with Chief Loibo. What is the reaction today to the Amnesty program in the creeks?
Well, the intention of the late president in proclaiming or forming the Amnesty program was actually to address and reduce restiveness and develop the area. What we have now, that is the only program working in that area, is the Presidential Amnesty program. And for us as stakeholders and leaders, our duty is to ensure that the things are done right. And from our own investigations and interactions, the boys in the creek, particularly in the last 1 week, they have been threatened, afraid whether the program will end anytime soon. Because the issues that give back to the amnesty have not been addressed 100%.
Okay, we'll get to that, but let's first of all talk about you as a stakeholder. You know, for the Pan-Niger Delta People's Congress, what really is your role as a stakeholder?
No, it is a Pan-Niger Delta People's Forum. What we did was to come together as activists, leaders, stakeholders, to see how we can take responsibility in the restiveness, in the crisis in the area. Because what we feel is that the Niger Delta problem is a Nigerian problem. And if Niger Delta is in crisis, Nigeria will be in crisis. So when we came together, we said, let's form PANDEP so that we can continue to engage the government. Okay. And for the last 2 years, we have achieved a lot in addressing the issues of attacks on the oil installations.
Okay, Brigadier General Burrow, I just want to start off for this opening salvo of looking at certain environment really, before looking into specifics. So let's still get at looking at really the reaction of the people in the creeks to the program today. I mean, you've been there now for less than 2 years definitely, but you've been feeling the pulse and you get there regularly. What is the reaction today to the Amnesty program?
The reaction of the people in the environment, Niger Delta, on the Amnesty program, it's of high expectations concerning the successes recorded, and that is why most of the youths are clamoring to be part of the program. Because as we speak, the program is responsible for those that are captured in the program because it requires appropriation, and this is what we are doing. A lot of them, their capacity has been developed in various areas of educational capacity as well as skills acquisition, and it is on course, is touching and hitting the minds and hearts of people in the Niger Delta region.
Yeah, I think I'd like to stay with the issue of hearts and minds because, I mean, we're a bit familiar with some of the programs. We'll come and deal with them in some detail. But let's continue first of all the issue of capturing the heart and mind. How much do you engage the people in Niger Delta?
We engage people of different strata. Youths are also benefiting from the program. the ex-militants themselves are also benefiting from the program. When I mean youths from the impacted communities due to the conflict are also beneficiaries of the program. These are the ones who you see, or you rather hear them graduating from universities all over the world, the United States, UK, Asia, South Africa. They're all over the world, and then they are graduating. Now, most of them have graduated. We have about 8% of them left outside the country.
Well, like I indicated, that I said that we're going to deal specifically with that when we come to that. I was just trying to, first of all, get the opening comment with regards to, this environment. And, that takes me back to Chief Loyibo. You started to talk initially about what could have happened in the last 1 week. What could have given rise to such kind of feeling?
Because the program is addressing, it is the only program in government that is addressing the people in question, that is the concerned people, the affected people. I mean the ex-freedom fighters and the people in the general area. What they feel,
I like the term you use, ex-freedom fighters.
Yes.
And he said ex-militants. So
no, ex-freedom fighters, okay, because their grievances were genuine as far as we leaders are concerned. But the approach is what we're against. So we they believed that particularly it was somehow there have been rumors here and there that the office is under pressure to end the program.
Okay.
And they feel that no, this cannot happen, because from just the crumbs, peace everywhere is expensive. From the crumbs, you get the money from this side, and there is northeast development, and you say you want to end my own. When there is the National Assembly, the Nigerian people are putting pressure on National Assembly to pass the amnesty bill. Okay. Even today there was protest. Over 1,000 Nigerian youths were in National Assembly today to tell National Assembly to pass the bill. So what they want is that, because it's addressing their problem, they want amnesty sustained, re-engineered.
Okay, now we have the man in charge of amnesty program right here. Yeah. Let's start from this point now. What is the status of the amnesty program? Is it a fall under threat in any way? Is it about to be abolished? What's the state?
Thank you very much. The program is not been abolished. It's on course. It's a program that has to do with a mechanism established by the federal government. It's a mechanism for the resolution of the Niger Delta issues, and it is on course. It has far gone in developing the capacity of those in the program, that's the beneficiaries, and it's on course.
Okay, so what is supposed to have a life cycle? Was it supposed to be forever, or was it supposed to be for a number of years?
It cannot be forever, because it requires ensuring that those that are in the program are adequately engaged. You see, the issue of Niger Delta as well as other areas is inadequate engagement of youths. And this is why I will continue to appreciate Mr. President, who is committed to ensuring the peace and stability in the Niger Delta region. Through the Presidential Amnesty Program, he has ensured that all beneficiaries in the program, their capacity has to be developed so that they will be gainfully engaged and will not be around for restiveness. And it's a procedural thing. It's not mathematical. You can't calculate, peace. You cannot calculate the number of resources you want to spend to achieve peace. It's better to achieve peace than violence. Violence is more destructive, and you never can tell when and how it will go. But the amnesty program is a mechanism for the resolution of the Niger Delta issues, and then it is
okay. General, within this mechanism now let's come to some specifics. What really has the amnesty program achieved in tangible terms?
Thank you very much. A lot of persons in the Niger Delta region have benefited from the Presidential Amnesty Program in terms of economy, in terms of human development, in terms of human capacity. All of this inclusive, people have benefited from the Presidential Amnesty Program. In fact, the Presidential Amnesty Program, I'm confident to say that it is one of the interventionist programs by the government that has helped greatly in ensuring peace and stability of the Niger Delta region. The peace we're enjoying today, candidly speaking, I will continue to appreciate Mr. President for ensuring that this program has seen the light of day, ensuring that there's peace and stability in the Niger Delta region.
Okay. General, I will still put you on hold here because of the fact that some of the details that I've not been able to get from you with regards to some of the programs. Initially, you started talking about the skill acquisition, and I wanted to get some of the numbers, but we'll get back to you presently. And Chief Loyibo, I'll also put you on standby. Earlier on, we introduced Dr. Chris Ekio, who is joining us by Skype from Benin. If we have Dr. Chris Ekio now, we'd like to get your opening comments about what is the ripple effect today of the Presidential Amnesty Program in the creeks.
Can you take that again, please?
What is the ripple effect of the Amnesty Program, in the creeks?
All right. First, I think that as a country, we must know that the Amnesty Program is a big gift to both the affected persons and our country. Prior to the Amnesty Program, we had gotten to the point where our country was on the brink in terms of its economy, with the oil production dropping to about 700,000 barrels per day. That kind of quantity will not sustain our economy that is driven by oil. Today, with the Amnesty Program, we have maintained a steady supply of over 2 million barrels per day. And I keep saying it's still a bribe for peace. That more needs to be done to improve the Niger Delta. But to tweak it around is to say that we want to go back to that time that people will just take laws into their hand. I think it's a program that needs to be sustained, improved upon, and developed to begin to even look at the broader aspect of the Niger Delta beyond the agitators. But for me, if you look at it, it's a win-win. If you quantify the quantity in terms of dollars or naira that is saved over this period with the amnesty, you realize that perhaps you're spending the total cost of the amnesty in the last 5 years is less than 2 weeks production of oil and gas, as it were. So I think that government needs to look at it critically and continue to work with stakeholders and the people of the Niger Delta to sustain the program until such a time it is able to create an alternative in terms of infrastructure and economy in the region.
Chris, we'll get back to you presently. Let's take on Chief Loyibo now, specifically with regards to these issues about the impact in Niger Delta of some of these programs. What aspect of this program would you say has been most impactful? Because earlier on we spoke about the fact that this is just what you have in the region. What aspect is impacting really on the lives of people?
Well, if I want to be very honest,
please be honest.
Yes, if I want to be honest, we know when this started. That's General Abbey. General Abbey was the first coordinator of the program. Then they were doing what we call skill, and they will go and train our boys on welding and other areas. So Kisli Kuku took over and introduced this educational aspect of the program. And our brother and my brother and friend came and brought this massive agricultural program. And what we have now, in the last Christmas celebration, over 1,000 bags of rice was produced by Amnesty delegates. That's the freedom fighters produced their own rice now. And we were able to, in the Niger Delta, some of them were in the market, and that sustained the stomach. And for me, the agricultural initiative of the program, introduced by Paul Bodo and the current government, and the educational aspect, because people are now trained, the people are lawyers, some are medical doctors, and in different fields. So the educational aspect and the agricultural aspect are the two key factors that have affected our people, and our people are excited about that development. There are also other many areas, because some of them have been trained pilot and different other skills. But for me, these two are my takeaways.
Okay, you're watching Nigeria Today. We are discussing the Presidential Amnesty Program in the Niger Delta. We'll continue after this break.
Coming up on NTA News 24, Nigeria Today, 7:30, Monday to Friday, with exciting anchors on topical issues. Inspirators, a search for those who inspire others. Business 24, a business magazine program. Late edition repackaged. Fresh and exciting programming on NTA News 24. Stay with us.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Nigeria Today on NTA News 24. And we're discussing the Presidential Amnesty Program. We have on our team today the SA to the President on Niger Delta and Coordinator, Presidential Amnesty Program, Brigadier General Paul Burrow, as well as Chief Mike Loyibo, National Coordinator of the Pan-Niger Delta People's Forum. And in Benin, we also have Dr. Chris Ekio with us. But let's just start now with General Paul Burrow. Chief Loyibo just spoke about the present thrust of the programs that you're executing. Let's first of all focus on the issue of the agricultural programs. Give us some of the details of this.
Okay, thank you very much. I had an overview of the program when I took over, and no sooner than that, I had Mr. President talking about agriculture as a way of life in Nigeria. We should look at it in that scape. We should also see agriculture as another alternative to revamp the economy, because the economy was not encouraging. I picked it from there to make sure that apart from other areas of endeavor which the Amnesty Program beneficiaries' capacity has been developed, and now focus on agriculture. And candidly speaking, the Niger Delta environment can achieve two of its kind, the aquaculture and agriculture proper. We have today, ex-agitators who leave their homes and report to their farms. They leave their homes with their families and go to their various farms. Fish farming, poultry farming, snailery, piggery, plantain farming. They are all over the Niger Delta region, and this has created massive job employment for the youths within that environment. It has also ensured that these items that are produced will not be imported into the country, and individuals that are engaged in this endeavor, their financial position will be enhanced because they will sell their farm products.
Hey, bro, let me just come here at this point really. For this agricultural program, what kind of framework do you have for engaging the people? The agricultural program you're talking about, the agricultural schemes.
Yes.
Is there a kind of framework, for which you provide financing? Do they have to organize themselves into some kind of guild and all that?
Oh yes, we do. Yes, thank you very much. First and foremost, they form themselves into groups of in various groups that are required by especially the Central Bank of Nigeria, so that they can key into the Anchor Brewers scheme.
So is the Anchor Brewers scheme active there?
We are also engaging with Anchor Brewers program as well. And then the federal government's release of funds to establish each and every one of the beneficiaries will also are all parts of the approach with which we're engaging the ex-agitators.
Anyway, time is we start winding down now, but we'll come actually to the issue of the skill acquisition, because this issue of the graduate program and all that is one thing that we still need to get back to. But Floyibo, if we're talking about agriculture, is that going to be a very effective tool? You started talking about this program, Does it require massive investment of funds in that area?
Of course, yes. Because you are talking about sustaining the people economically, sustaining the people. And you know that agriculture is one avenue where massive jobs are created. And when the people are busy, they don't have time again to be involved in attacks of oil installations. So what we want to do, what this present team General Boro is doing with his team, which we believe in his personal integrity. And when he came and engaged the leadership to say that this is the way out, and we have provided that template and support. And the program, the agricultural program is working, and everybody is keying it. Like he said, okay, if you are entitled for the program, contractor will give you contracts, and sometimes the number of delegates they will allocate to that person, sometimes 30 or 40. He will go and train the people in agriculture in different fields, then empower them for them to own their farm. And in turn, they too will employ other people.
Okay.
And it's moving. It's moving. It's moving. And we're so excited about it.
Okay, fine. Let's see if we can get Dr. Chris Akio now in Benin. Dr. Chris Akio, I hope that you've been listening into our conversation. And if you are, I would actually want you to go back to a point that you alluded to sometime while speaking on your, while making your initial comments. You talked about the drum beats that have started sounding in some parts of the Niger Delta. Though you think that with efforts being made, particularly to grow the economy there, that you can address some of these echoes coming out from there?
Could you, sorry, break into quickly. Hello, Wilfred.
Okay, fine. Well, we're having some issues with the audio of Dr. Kio in Benin, a bit of the Skype connections. But Chief Loyibo, if the same question I was asking Dr. Kio, you also started talking about a bit of some of these drum beats and the sound coming from them. Would these attempts, these efforts, ultimately assuage some of these, misgivings?
I think what the people want, the tension was so high, and the president, in his wisdom, asked the vice president, and he visited the area to ensure that there is confidence building, and the coordinator of the Amnesty program was very involved, because he's the unseen hand in the operation of the area, because he's a link between the stakeholders and the people concerned and government. And when they came, for the first time, the people of that area trusted this current government. But for some time now, particularly from last year, towards the end of last year, they are feeling that government is not ready to develop the Niger Delta area. Because you recall that 1st of November, we leaders went and met the president, presented what we call the 16-point agenda. Out of the 16-point, they are saying that nothing has been addressed. Even the issues that gave back to Amnesty have not been addressed. And they are hearing rumor of a plan of government to close the program. Okay, and they feel that, okay, you want to close the program, then you come and kill all of us.
Okay, Chief Lawyer, we have only 1 minute, so let us once again address such fears.
Okay.
Brigadier General Boro.
Yes, please.
Can you just respond directly to the issues that have been raised by Chief Lawyer, specifically about the question of abolishing the Amnesty program?
Okay, thank you very much. Like I said, it's a program that is more encompassing to bringing confidence to the people of the region. It's not going to end abruptly, because, like I said, it's a peace-building effort towards resolving the issues of the Niger Delta. So it's not a mathematical solution to resolving it. It's a procedural thing. It's going to be on a stage-by-stage basis, and we shall get there.
Well, you also had some statistics about what really this program has been able to achieve with regards to training professionals, and also this same issue of those that have been sent abroad. Okay. I mean, have you been able to pay their fees, take care of their welfare, and how many do you have now?
Thank you so very much. The Presidential Amnesty Program is a very expensive program because it's for peace, and well over 92% of those that are schooling abroad have graduated and are returning home. The last set, by His grace, will return home by June this year. I won't have anybody schooling abroad again. Then for those that are within the country, about 40% have graduated. We have about 60% left. But a lot of them also are making waves, in the society. We have lawyers on this program. We have medical practitioners. We have pilots. We have hospitality managers, professionally qualified welders and artisans.
Okay.
That is why I'm happy that in Mr. President's speech for this year, his inaugural speech for this year, he mentioned establishment of infrastructure, particularly in the area of transportation.
General Borough, I mean,
that is where our welders and critical artisans will be engaged.
So we've got to end this program on this note, General Borough. We'd like to thank you very much for coming, National Coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Program. And Jeff Loyibo, we also like to thank you very much. You are Coordinator of the Pan-Niger Delta People's Forum.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us on Nigeria Today. And we'd like to thank Dr. Chris Akio, who unfortunately we lost his very insightful views due to Skype connection. Thanks very much, Dr. Akio, for joining us, nonetheless, from Benin. And that is Nigeria Today for today, and we've been discussing, once again, the issue of presidential amnesty. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so very much. There's no fears. There's no fears about the program is of course.
Welcome to Nigeria.